Delhi, the crown jewel of so many empires over so many centuries. The Kurus, the Tomars, the Khaljis, the Lodhis, the Mughals, and of course the British. Historic city where dynasties have blossomed, ballooned, and doomed. Even as Delhi itself has sprawled into this larger entity of NCR, or the National Capital Region, embracing parts of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. But guess who's making the latest imprint in India's north? It's the Keralites, Mallus if you will. Of course, it is far-fetched to compare the Mongols and Mughals with the Mayans and Mathais, but fact also remains that conquests can be made with heavy metal, elephants and gunpowder to amass territory, just as one can conquer minds and markets like the Mallus are doing right now, ever so softly in the north of India. Smart conquerors, in fact, do not even let a population know they're being conquered, like Malayali nurses have done to millions of hearts and minds in the north of India for so many years, just as they've done in different parts of the world, starting from Germany as early as in the 1970s. Over this week and last month, there have been two new Kerala imprints in the north of India that are really hard to miss. One of them, the sprawling 2.2 million square foot, 20 billion rupee Lulu Mall in Lucknow by Keralite M.A. Yusuffali's Lulu Group International. Take a look at how thrilled Yogi Adityanath is to have investment from this man who's now called the Mall Mughal, and is delighted here that this Abu Dhabi based Keralite will soon be investing more in Varanasi and Prayagraj.
अभी देख रहा है आप लोग जो शॉपिंग मॉल जो हमारा चीफ मिनिस्टर का सपोर्ट में है. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Remember, Yogi is a veritable brand ambassador of the BJP, while Kerala is fiercely antagonistic to that party, with 0 seats for the BJP in the Kerala Assembly. But that doesn't stop a Yusuffali from working his Malayali charm on the UP Chief Minister, just as thousands of nurses from Kerala have worked their charm on millions of people in the north. Now more across to Faridabad, Haryana, where another Mallu was working her charisma on the Prime Minister at the inauguration of what is touted as Asia's largest hospital. With 10,000 staff, 800 doctors, a built-up space of 10 million square feet, a 60 billion rupee investment, and run by the Mata Amritanandamayi Math. Now, when have you last seen someone put an arm over Narendra Modi's shoulder? Or seen the Prime Minister bending to garland someone? Amritanandamayi's spiritual therapy and Yusuffali's retail therapy are winning millions for the Malayali in distant lands, even getting people to speak Malayalam, like Prime Minister Modi.
സ്നേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കാരുണ്യത്തിൻ്റെ സേവനത്തിൻ്റെ ത്യാഗത്തിൻ്റെ പര്യായമാണ് അമ്മ.
Malayalam is apparently so pervasive among nurses in the north that the nursing superintendent of the GB Pant Institute for Postgraduate Medical Research, JIPMA, had to issue this circular last year. Do forgive her grammar. A complaint has been received regarding Malayalam language is being used for communication in working places in JIPMA, whereas maximum patient and colleagues do not know this language and feel helpless, causing a lot of inconvenience. So it is directed to all nursing personnel to use only Hindi and English for communication, otherwise serious action will be taken. There's no update on the Malayalam usage at the GB Pant Hospital, but the ever-expanding Malayali diaspora is taking the language everywhere. The latest buzz is that Keralites are swarming Canada like never before, that Malayalam will soon be the 5th most spoken language in Canada after English, French, Chinese and Punjabi. The Mughals exported rice, textiles, tobacco and metals, and imported spices, sugar, oil and horses. Kerala's bizarre combination of communists who welcome and then harass investors, a rudderless Congress and a corrupt and inefficient bureaucracy ensure that Kerala has to buy virtually everything from vegetables to fancy cars from outside, and it exports its sons and daughters along with their competencies. So, earlier this year, Raj Subramaniam, a Kerala export, becomes CEO of FedEx Corporation in the US. And this week, Santosh Iyer, another Keralite, takes over as Managing Director and CEO of India of Mercedes-Benz, the first Indian in that role, replacing Martin Schwenk. But I tell you, the Mallus are very different from the Mongols and the Mughals. They wouldn't use elephants to conquer Delhi. They would rather send 34 elephants by train from Thrissur to Tughlakabad, all of 3,000 kilometers plus, to embellish the Asian Games. They wouldn't build the Red Fort or the Agra Fort or the Taj Mahal. They would rather build malls and hospitals. And most of all, they will make life miserable for themselves at home in Kerala to prepare the platform for their global conquest. Namaskaram to that. This episode salutes an inmate of the open jail in Chimeni, Kerala, 50-year-old Tachil Shah, who this week contributed 100,000 rupees to the Chief Minister's Distress Relief Fund. Now, how does he get so much money? That was the remuneration he got for writing a film script from jail. Shah was one of the 8 scriptwriters for the film Egan Anegan, directed by Chidambara Palaniyappan, a film which was the result of a filmmaking workshop held at the Chimeni jail in 2018. I told you, Mallus are very different. Imprison them and they write a film script and donate the proceeds to the Chief Minister's Distress Relief Fund.